Good morning, students. This is Mrs. Loucy with you, your science teacher. Today we're going to start with a new chapter, Chapter 6, Earth's Resources. We're going to start with Lesson 5, Where is Earth's Water? It's on page 266. The objectives of this lesson are: students will develop models to communicate where water collects on Earth. Students will explain where water is found on Earth. Students will learn about Earth's freshwater resources. Please bring your book and open it on pages 266 to 167. You have a picture at the top of these pages. Who can tell me what can you see in the picture? Yes, it looks like a volcano. I'm going to ask questions about this picture, so I want you to listen and try to answer the questions. Where is the water and steam coming from? The answer is, the water and steam are coming from underground. How does the water become steam? Water becomes steam when it gets really hot. Water on Earth. Think about a globe. When you look at a globe, you see much more blue water than green land. So if you look at the picture, the blue color is much more than the green color. That is because almost 3/4 of Earth's surface is covered with water. 3/4 is a fraction, so if you want to talk about this amount in percentages, you can see the picture to the right. It is the division of the Earth. About 71% of the Earth is water and only 29% is land. Water exists as a solid, liquid, and gas. Ice is a solid water that is found in glaciers and polar ice caps. Liquid water is found in rivers, lakes, the ocean, and other bodies of water. Gas form is the water vapor present in the atmosphere. So here we have a picture state of matter. It shows you when the water is very cold, it becomes solid, which is ice. The middle picture, which has a moderate temperature, so the water is liquid. And when it is very hot, it becomes a gas, which is called the water vapor. And here at the right, this is a picture similar to the one in your book. It is an iceberg. It is a large piece of floating ice. Icebergs form when pieces break off of glaciers. What is a glacier? A glacier is a large body of slowly moving ice. As we said, that gas form is the water vapor present in the atmosphere. So when water gets hot enough, it turns into an invisible gas called water vapor. Some of the water near Earth's surface is water vapor in the air. The water vapor rises from water on Earth's surface and becomes part of the atmosphere. To explain better how it becomes part of the atmosphere, look at the first picture. This is the evaporation process of water from Earth's surface into the sky, where water vapor forms clouds. Also, you can see a kettle. When the water becomes very hot, the water vapor gets out of it. So you can see water vapor also in your kitchen. Now we're going to solve question number 1 on page 267. Create a circle chart. Color the circle to show how much of Earth is covered with water and how much is covered with land. Label the parts of the circle. So now we're going to watch a video and solve the question. Hello. They are asking us in this question to create a circle chart. So let's draw a circle. This is the circle chart. Okay, then we have to color the circle to show how much of Earth is covered with water and how much is covered with land. As we explained on page 267, that 3/4 of Earth's surface is covered with water. 3/4 is a fraction. As you already know, that 3 is the numerator and 4 is the denominator. The denominator represents the total number of parts of the circle. So here we're going to divide the circle into 4 equal parts. So 4 is the total number of parts, it is the whole circle. 3 out of 4 is the amount of water on Earth. So we should color 3 parts of the circle. 3 parts of the circle represents the total number of water on Earth. And the remaining part is the amount of land on Earth. And here they ask us that we should label the parts. So the red part is the water on Earth and the white part is the land. So the land represents 1/4 of the Earth. I hope that you draw this chart on your book. Open please on page 268. Surface water. What is surface water? It is any water that is above the ground on Earth. You can see it, splash in it, or swim in it. So if you think for a while, where can we see water on Earth? In oceans, rivers, lakes, ponds. So we have many bodies of water. So these bodies of water are classified by the type of water they contain. It could be salt water or fresh water. Let's start with salt water. I want you to imagine yourself that you're on the beach, swimming and splashing in water. Suddenly, few drops of this water enters your eyes and your mouth. Who can tell me what happens to your eyes? And what is the taste of this water? Yes, your eyes start stinging and burning inside, and the water tastes very salty. Water, water everywhere, nor any drop to drink. These lines in a famous poem describe a crew on an ocean ship that has run out of drinking water. Water is all around them. How could they run out of drinking water? So can you drink the water in the sea? Of course not. It tastes very salty, and besides, it is not healthy for drinking. And do you know that more than 97/100 of Earth's water is salty water in the ocean and seas? This picture here shows you the world's water resources. 97.5% of the water on Earth is found in oceans, and the remaining percentage is for glaciers, groundwater, lakes, swamps, and rivers. Let's now explain, why is the ocean salty? How does the water becomes very salty? Ocean water is a mixture of water and dissolved salts. These salts come mostly from rocks on land. As rivers flow over land, they dissolve salts from rocks. They carry the salts to the ocean. What about fresh water? People need fresh water for drinking, cooking, growing crops, and many other activities. And only 3/100 of Earth's water is fresh water. Most of Earth's fresh water is frozen in glaciers and ice caps. People cannot use that water. People depend on the small amount of fresh water available in rivers and lakes. People also get drinking water from underground. So if you look at the picture to the right, it is the pie chart. It shows you that the salt water is 97% and only 3% is fresh water. And in the fresh water, you have the groundwater, it is 12%, rivers and lakes is only 1%, and 87% of the fresh water is frozen in glaciers and ice caps, so it is ice. Why is the fresh water an important resource? Fresh water is an important resource because people need fresh water to live, and less than 3/100 of all water on Earth is fresh. As we said, that we can classify water bodies by the type of water they contain, if it is salty water or fresh water. So here are the different bodies of surface water. We have the ocean, pond, sea, glaciers and ice caps, lake, and river. Look at page 269 so we can explain the different bodies of surface water and the type of water they contain. Follow so you can understand. Ocean and seas. The ocean is a large body of salt water. Seas are smaller areas of the ocean that are partly surrounded by land. So of course we all know that the ocean and the sea contain salt water, and the sea is smaller in size than the ocean, and it is surrounded by land, which is the beach. Let's continue reading. Waves in the ocean cause the water to go up and down in place. But the water is not moving in the direction of the wave until it breaks against a shoreline, such as this beach. So if you look at the picture, you can see how the waves are going up and down towards the beach. Lakes and ponds. Land surrounds lakes and ponds, which are smaller than the ocean. Lakes are generally larger than ponds. Almost all lakes and ponds contain fresh water, but a few lakes and ponds contain salt water. So, of course, we know that a lake and a pond are smaller than the ocean. Generally, they contain fresh water. Only few of them contain salt water, and all lakes and ponds are surrounded by land. Rivers. A river is flowing fresh water. Water in rivers moves downhill. Rivers flow into the ocean, lakes, and other rivers. So all rivers contain fresh water, and the water moves downhill due to gravity. So because of the force of gravity, it carries the water in rivers downhill to reach the ocean, the lakes, and other rivers. Glaciers and ice caps. A glacier is a large body of slowly moving ice. Glaciers form when more snow falls than melts in an area. The polar ice caps are large areas of ice at the north and south poles. So if you look at the picture to your left, you can see the glaciers and the ice caps. So we said that a glacier is a large body of moving ice. So they are not melting, they are moving, so the snow falls, so they form the glaciers. And the polar ice caps, also they are large areas in the north and south poles. Now we're going to solve on page 268 question number 2. Write how the ocean and a pond are alike and different. So we're going to solve it as a Venn diagram. So I want you to copy it on your copybook so you can draw the Venn diagram. The differences between the ocean and the pond are: the ocean is large and contains salt water, while the pond is smaller than the ocean and almost all ponds contain fresh water. The similarities are: they are both bodies of surface water. Few ponds contain salt water. Question number 3. Circle the names of bodies of water that can contain salt water. Draw an X on the body of water that contains most of Earth's fresh water. So we should look on page 269 and read the bodies of water: ocean and seas, lakes and ponds, rivers, glaciers, and ice caps. As we explained in the previous slides, that ocean and seas contain salt water, so you should circle it. Few lakes and ponds contain salt water, so you can also circle this. Of course, not all of them contain salt water, mostly they have fresh water, but since few lakes and ponds contain salt water, we should circle it. Now we should draw an X on the body of water that contains most of Earth's fresh water. Also, as we already explained, that most of Earth's fresh water is present as ice on Earth. So we should put an X on glaciers and ice caps. So here's the picture showing you where you should put a circle, and we should put an X on the ice caps. As your homework, I want you to read and understand pages 267, 268, and 269. Then solve the questions below on your copybook. Question number 1. Where on earth can you find liquid water? Number 2. Should you drink ocean water? Explain. Number 3. Compare and contrast using a Venn diagram. How are ponds and lakes alike and how are they different? So use the Venn diagram below. You should write the similarities in the middle in common and the differences at the sides. I will provide you the answer key by tomorrow. Hope you understand well and study well and stay safe.